Dear friends, hello everyone. I'm with you again, TheDeinekoArtem, and in today's video we will have a review of the new Minecraft Snapshot, 25w46a. It's hard to call it new. As always, I'm a little late for recording this snapshot, but in any case, if you haven't watched the review yet, then welcome. Today, we will fully review all the changes and updates in this snapshot. In fact, there are not many of them, but they are quite interesting. As always, please like, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell if you haven't done so. But we move on to our review of the USA snapshot. Let's go! I would like to immediately remind you that this snapshot refers to the new version of Minecraft, called Gardeners of Chaos. And also, friends, after this snapshot re-releases begin, I think I'll make a separate video about pre-releases. About all pre-releases, and not to write about each one separately, but we'll see, maybe we'll write about each one separately. But let's start with the very first one, Nautilus. For Nautilus, there are two changes to this Slender. First, they added a new menu for when we can log in, that is, tame Nautilus. Go to his menu, and you can put the Nautilus armor on him there, and also take a saddle, and put it on Nautilus, and also new sounds of Nautilus attack. Let's go in order. Well, from the very beginning, this is just a menu. We had water here somewhere. It seems to be located outside the village. Let us fly here a little now. And I tell you, and I'll show you this, so it turns out to be a new menu. It's actually strange that the previous snapshots didn't show this. I didn't even notice. Well, now we have an inventory that turns out to be a Nautilus. Well, to begin with, to tame it, I remind you that you need a fish fugu, because without a fugu you cannot tame a large Nautilus. You can feed a small Nautilus with any fish. Namely, the only large Nautilus here is Rebai Foku. That's it. We tamed him, now we can sit on it, and our menu opens. This results in interaction with the Nautilus itself. Let's go into survival mode, for example, and if you press it, then you can easily sit on it. Yes, you can sit down and sit, but like, you won't be able to control it, because you definitely need to learn the saddle and armor. Well, crafting resembles armor, I think. There is no point. I think you already know how to craft Nautilus armor. Well, let's just take, for example, the Nazareth shell. Well, it looks like a shell, actually. But this is the Nautilus armor. Well, you must agree. It looks exactly like a shell. And let's take the saddle. And it turns out, we'll plant our Nautilus. For some reason, Nautilus is at the very bottom. This is how we put it on. That's it in principle. We now have armor on the Nautilus, and we can legally wear it because a menu has appeared. We couldn't do this before. This is what it looks like. The most interesting thing is that we can, sitting right on this Nautilus, remove the reservation from it, and that's it. That is way. Let's sit. We don't jump off. We learn it and continue moving. But we learned again that we won't be able to control it. Interesting. Let's immediately move on to the sounds of laptops. When he attacks you, he will make a rushing sound. And after that, only you will be attacked. That is, you have a short period of time to react to the attack of this Nautilus and, for example, defend yourself or run away from it. Well, for example, I have now switched back to survival mode. I hit the Nautilus. Here are two Nautiluses. I hit them, and then you hear, he makes a jerking sound. And only then attacks you. Here. That is, you can try to fight him off and somehow escape and so on as long as he stays. Make these jerks and attack you. Well, let's test this again. Nautilus is hitting the first one. Here it is. We even had the first one attack. That is, he's attacking you. You see? He'll dash pat and he'll attack. Again, now there will be a dash and he'll attack. Oh, well, you can dodge like this, that is. He won't always be able to attack you if you're there. Either dodge or run. Oh, look, he flew straight onto land. It's interesting, but Teals just flew onto land with a jerk. He should now suffocate and die. That is, it turns out to be such a friendly fire. He's going to destroy himself now. This Nautilus turned out to be such a strange move. I won't even save him. Let's return to our Mastai. Mastai, how are you doing? Mastai is having fun with scanned blocks, but in the meantime, we move on to the next changes. We have a new splash. For those who don't know what splash is, this is the text that appears next to the Minecraft logo. For example, if I now leave our Minecraft world, well, from our server in Minecraft, and here, you will see this splash. Well, in short, any text can be here. That is, it is generated, but I think you know that. And now we have a new text. Yes, This is a strange change. In fact, I don't know how many of these texts, I remember exactly, or 50 or 60 or even more. But here we have a new splash, just like that. Well, it's kind of verbatim. I will tell you this verbatim. The fact that it is simply impossible to reach distant lands. This is due to the fact that recently, more precisely, on the 4th of October, 2025, a streamer, I don't know where he streams, either on YouTube or on Twitch, but in general, the streamer Claude G. Moss. If I read his nickname correctly, you see it on the screen now. I have it written down like this, perhaps with errors. Accordingly, 14 years later, I reached these distant lands. He went to survival in Java Minecraft, and accordingly, he was able to reach these, respectively, distant lands. And the Mojangs decided in this way simply so that the players would not forget that this one blogger, 14 years without stopping. Well, it stops if I mean that. For 14 years, I stubbornly walked in survival to these distant lands. And now we have such a new splash. That's it. This is the most basic change in splashes on this snapshot. Further changes concern hermits. Previously, if you were attacked by hermits, they would naturally shoot arrows of potions of weakness. Well, we had this in previous snapshots in principle, and before there was such a strange feature that these hermits could also receive a potion. Well, that is, if a player throws a weakness potion at them, then they get this potion and accordingly also became weak. I think they should have some sort of priority, such as that they shouldn't gain weakness if players throw a weakness potion at them. And yes, the developers did this, for example. If I now throw a potion of weakness at this skeleton, but I couldn't hit it because I'm psyched. What's it called, weakness? Something like that. Yes, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, here is weakness, that is, a potion of weakness. This seems to be it. And this way we can just throw a potion of weakness on this skeleton and that is, he will not receive this potion, and he will continue to be normal with us. But I won't be able to attack him with my hand anymore. He attacked with a bow and arrow with weakness. I think this is clear, friends. So, we have a new item in the music settings menu. It's called Music Toast. That is, music hint. In general, the function is actually old, but the most important thing that the developers did here was simply changing its name and also adding a new sub-item. If we go to Settings, Music Settings, here we have the same old function, Music Hints. That is, we can see what music we are currently playing in Minecraft, but our name has now been changed. Previously, it was written as Show Music Toast. That is, show a hint, a musical hint. Now we just have a musical prompt and a new item has been added. Previously, we had never show what music is currently playing in Minecraft. And also, show only this hint in the menu, pause. That is, when you press pause, for example, on escape, you get this hint about what music is currently playing in Minecraft. Now you have the opportunity to view this hint in Minecraft itself, that is, when you play, and also in the pause menu. Let us now put on music so that it plays constantly for us. Yes, and now, accordingly, music should play for us, and we will see this hint in Minecraft itself. I mean, I'm playing Minecraft right now, and I see this tooltip right on the left in Minecraft. I can also go to escape, press escape, and here too, this hint is displayed in the settings. And similarly, everywhere I go, we will have auto hints appear everywhere. Not only in Minecraft and not only in the settings menu area or in the pause menu. We also now have these different horses. That is, these are horses. I don't know. That is, all mobs in Minecraft that are stunks. Now, they will not panic if a hostile mob sits on previously, they could somehow panic there, run, fuss, but now they calmly react to the fact that, for example, a skeleton might be sitting on them. Zombies, if you can also plant teams as a creeper, then they too will react calmly to this, will not panic, jump and run away. That's basically cool. Well, we also changed the sorting of eggs in inventory. Let's go to creative mode. Go to spawn X and now we have this sorting completely changed. From the very beginning, we have ordinary mobs that spawn in the normal world, starting from farm animals. That is, the very animals that we can breed in Minecraft. That is, a chicken there. Cows, sheep, pigs, and so on. Next we have mounts, that is, these are exactly these. Well, not mountain ones, but let's say also horses of that sort. For example, we have donkey, horse, mule, and so on. Then we have pets. It turns out, cats, there, a parrot, and so on. That is, those animals, well, that is, that we can keep like at home, that we can tame, and so on. wild animals, it turns out that there are flying bees, and it also turns out that there are bats, well, in short, and so on. Let me just go over it briefly so you don't have to read it all to you. Here we have golems, there are residents, and so on. Then we have nether and also mobs that spawn in the end. That is, they specifically have a separate one. This sorting is for hellish mobs, magma there, piglins, striders there, and so on. And for the ender world. Well, for the ender world we have only 3 mobs here. It turns out to be an enderman, endermit, and also shulker, male the tiny shulker. And that's it, we don't have any more mobs for endermere, but I hope that in the near future we will have an ender update. We will have new mobs, new biomes, new blocks. Well, let's see, friends. I have been waiting for a very long time, and we have been waiting for this update for a very long time. Well, I hope that it will finally come out someday. I hope that this will not drag on for 5, 4, and so on years. Friends, this is where the snapshot ends. The Minecraft version. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe to the channel, click on the bell. Good luck to everyone. Bye bye everyone, friends.